Lena had never liked silence. That's why, even after moving into her tiny apartment on the edge of the city, she always kept the TV on, even if it was just background noise. The building was old, the kind of place where the elevator groaned like it had secrets, and the walls were too thin to keep out whispers from the other side. But it wasn't the neighbors she had to worry about. The first time it happened, Lena was asleep on the couch. At exactly 3:33 a.m., the TV flickered on by itself, just static. No sound, no channels. She assumed it was a glitch. Maybe a power surge. Maybe interference. She turned it off and went back to sleep. The next night, it happened again. Same time, same static, same silence. Except this time, there was a shape in the screen, like smoke curling into the form of a person. She blinked. It was gone. Night after night, the same thing. 3:33 a.m. The figure in the static, growing clearer, closer, first a head, then a pair of eyes. Eyes that didn't blink, didn't move. She unplugged the TV. The next night, it turned on anyway. Lena started filming the screen with her phone. But when she watched the footage the next morning, there wasn't a figure in the TV. There was a figure standing behind her, quietly watching her. Lena started asking questions. The landlord brushed her off. One neighbor, an older woman in 4B, looked pale when Lena mentioned the TV. She told Lena that apartment is cursed. The last girl who lived there, Jessica, started seeing a man in the static too. What happened to her? Lena asked. She vanished. No signs of struggle. Only thing left was a burnt-out TV and claw marks on the wall. That night, Lena found those same claw marks. Hidden behind her bookcase, they were fresh. Determined to confront whatever was happening, Lena stayed up. She set up cameras, lit candles, sat directly in front of the screen. 3:32 a.m. Silence. 3:33 a.m. The static returned. But this time, it wasn't just static. Her own reflection appeared on the screen, but it wasn't moving in sync. It was grinning. The figure stepped out behind it. A tall, gaunt man with hollow sockets for eyes. He leaned in and whispered,
"You let me in."
The power surged. The lights exploded. The candles went out. Her scream echoed through the apartment, then silence. The next day, Lena's apartment was empty. No signs of struggle. No Lena. Just a faint, humming static. And a TV, still unplugged, still on. On the screen, a loop of grainy footage, Lena sitting on the couch. And slowly, frame by frame, the man emerging behind her. Whisper. Now, they say, if you watch a dead channel at 3:33 a.m., you might see her too, smiling. Most people don't even know the old library has a basement. Not unless they work there. Sam, a quiet college student, had just taken a weekend job helping to sort and digitize old media, VHS tapes, reel films, cassette interviews, the kind of stuff nobody had touched in decades. The basement was cold, still, the kind of quiet that presses against your ears. It smelled like mold, metal, and forgotten things. On his second day, the head librarian, a woman who barely spoke, handed him a box. The box was unlabeled, sealed with dust and old tape. Inside was a single VHS tape. No markings, just a strip of masking tape on the front, with 3 words scrawled in red ink. Do not watch. At first, Sam thought it was a joke, an old horror tape or prank from the 90s. But when he asked the librarian about it later that day, she froze. Some things don't want to be remembered, she said quietly. Leave it alone. But he couldn't. The tape stayed in the back of his mind like a song you can't stop humming. That night, long after the library had closed, Sam stayed behind. He wheeled out the clunky TV VCR combo, dimmed the lights, and pushed the tape in. Static, then black, then a room, dark, silent, no windows. A single wooden chair sat in the center. Someone was sitting in it, unmoving. Their face was blurred, not pixelated, but smudged, like the tape itself was forgetting them. Sam leaned closer. The figure in the chair shifted slightly, lifted its head. Its mouth moved, but no sound came out. Then the tape looped. Same movement, same twitch, same motionless stare, again and again, until something changed. The blurred face slowly turned toward the camera, toward Sam. It stared, and then it smiled. Just as suddenly, the static returned, but only for a second, because now, the chair was empty, and on the screen, Sam saw himself, standing in that room, from behind. But the screen kept rolling, kept showing him, from behind, like a handheld camera was following him. He hit eject. The tape popped out, but the TV didn't turn off. It glitched, then flickered, then showed the chair again. This time, he was sitting in it, unmoving, face blank, eyes open, mouth twitching like it wanted to scream but had forgotten how. He ran out of the library, left the lights on, left the tape behind, didn't go back. But that night, his TV turned on by itself. He didn't own a VCR, didn't even plug the TV in, but there it was, static. Then the room, then the chair, and in the chair, Sam. No one ever found him. His apartment was untouched, TV still on. When police questioned the library staff, no one remembered hiring him. No employment file, no paper trail, no Sam. But some nights, if you're still flipping channels at 3 in the morning, you might land on a dead station, a dim room, a wooden chair, a figure sitting still, waiting. And if you stare long enough, sometimes the screen stares back. Whisper, do not watch. Some houses are haunted by ghosts, some are haunted by memories, and then there are houses like mine, haunted by something much worse. I moved into the old house at the edge of town after inheriting it from an uncle I barely knew. It was quiet, a little too quiet. No neighbors for half a mile, just woods and fog and silence. That first night, I noticed something strange. The curtains in the upstairs bedroom window kept blowing even though all the windows were closed. And when I looked up from the front yard, there was a man, standing in the window. I called the police. They searched the house. Nothing. No signs of forced entry. No footprints. Just a dusty old attic and that same window, always cracked open. The next morning, I found muddy footprints, inside the hallway. They led from the window, straight to my bedroom door, and stopped. I placed a voice recorder in the hallway that night. When I played it back the next morning, there was breathing, heavy, raspy. Then, a voice whispered,
"You can't lock me out. I live here."
I found an old journal hidden in the attic. My uncle had written about the man in the window too. He believed the house was cursed. That the figure wasn't a ghost. He doesn't want to scare you. He wants you to take his place. That night, I decided to leave, but the house wouldn't let me. Doors slammed, lights burst, and from the top of the stairs, he stood again, the man, watching. The police found the house empty, no trace of me. But sometimes, when the fog is thick, people say they see a man in the window. Not one, but two.
It's your turn now.
Some houses keep their secrets hidden, others pass them on. If you're still watching, you heard the whisper too. And now, it's your turn. Subscribe before the window opens again.